Hey, my name's Henry Carter. I am the rent-to-own guy. www.carterrent-to-own. This is my dog Molly. Molly is my companion. She also goes with me on a lot of sales calls. She's been with me a long time. Anyway, the title of this video is how do I get started on this rent-to-own process? What's really involved? You know, I've got all kinds of ads on Craigslist. I've got a super duper website, but people still call all the time and say, okay, what's with the rent-to-own? So I'm going to try to take you through step by step in a expedient manner and kind of let you know what's involved. Number one, you've got to have the desire to own property. Everybody wants to own property. It's the American dream. It's the world dream. So if you want to own a house, you're at the right place. Number two, this is a bigger obstacle. You've got to have the option fee, also known as the down payment. The option fee ranges from $2,900 to $3,900. Can we break it up into little bits? Sometimes we can, especially when it's close to income tax time. If that's my wife calling, I have to answer. All you married people out there will understand. Or if it's Comcast calling. I'm waiting on a call from Comcast and I'm waiting on a call from my wife. Let me see if it's either one. No, it's not either one. But if my wife calls or if Comcast, because cable TV and internet, it's essential, and when they call, you have to answer, but it's neither one. And I do tend to get a lot of calls. Okay, sorry for the diversion. Anyway, the American dream, to own a house. Number two, you've got to have the down payment. So, and generally, you need the whole down payment up front, which is anywhere from $2,900 to $3,900. Where can you get it if you don't already have it? Well, maybe your mom, maybe your dad, maybe your 401k. Maybe you can have a big yard sale. Molly, if you want down, say bye to the people. I'm going to put Molly down while I do this. I tend to talk with my hands. Anyway, you've got to have the down payment. Number three, there's some qualifying involved. Not a lot, a very minimal qualifying, because we do get a big amount down, and that cushions a lot of marginal credit. But basically, you need to have household income of 3 times the rent. So to keep it simple, let's say you're looking at one of my houses, it's $1,000 a month. In real simple terms, I'm looking for you to have total household income of at least $3,000 a month. Statistics and ratios and all that, you know, there is something to be said, and they've shown that if you make less than 3 times, you know, it's hard to succeed at this program. So make 3 times the rent, have the down payment, have the desire, and you need to have a pretty good rental history. Now, do I get all bogged down in your credit report and student loans and dentist bills and medical bills and bills to the credit card company? No, I don't care about those. You should pay them if you owe them, but that won't keep you from getting a house with me. But I do care about how you paid your previous landlord and your landlord before that. So if you've had an eviction in the last 6 months, do you want to call me? Probably not. So have the down payment, make the income 3 times the rent, have the desire, and make. I'm at a loss for word. One thing about me, I never use scripts. So in all my videos, just whatever comes out, comes out. Sometimes it ain't good, but most of the time it's pretty decent. Okay, so now you know the qualifying criteria. You look on my website, www.carterrent-to-own.com. You see that I've got a house that you might like. You look on the terms and conditions, and all of my deals are cookie cutters pretty much. And if that's what you want, you call me, and I will make arrangements for somebody to meet you out and look at it. If you like the house and you think you qualify, then we'll let you fill out an application. There is an application fee of $35. However, it's subtracted from the total option fee, so it's not really costing you anything if you do the house. And if I didn't charge an application fee, everybody would just want to do applications, and you know, if you don't have skin in the game, you never close a deal. That's why I get an application fee. When you do your application, you can do it in person or you can do it online. I don't get to see your personal information. I don't get to see your social security number, but I do see pretty much everything else. So you've done the application. I approve you. At that point, you need to be willing to put down some serious money being $500 to $1,000. That will apply toward the option fee. Then, once you move in, you will pay the rest of the option fee plus your rent. So we're going to keep this simple. Let's say you're going to move in on August 1st. And let's say that it's July 1st. and our criteria will generally allow us to hold a house for up to 30 days. So you've looked at the house, it's July 1st, and you say, I want it. I say, okay, and the option fee is $3,900 and rent's $1,000. Just remember, option fee is $39, rent's $1,000 on this particular house, on Jones Street, we'll say. So I say, okay, then let me, get $1,000 down as earnest money towards your option fee. We'll put that down, and that's subtracted from the $3,900. Then, come August the 1st, when you move in, you pay the other $2,900 of your option fee, plus you pay another $1,000 on your August rent. You only pay for the number of days that you're there, and we're flexible. I don't have to go before a committee. If you're a few $100s short, will I work with you? Well, almost for sure. Now, with us, we do a 3-year lease. And if you want a shorter lease term, we'll do it. But the longer the lease, the better it is for you. And a 3-year option. 2 separate documents. You've got this lease here that says 3 years at $1,000 a month. And you've got this option saying, I can buy this house for X amount of dollars for 3 years. And the money that I put down as an option fee is subtracted out of it. So if you can buy the house for $100,000, if that's what's in the option agreement, and you put down $3,900, then guess what? You'd have to come up with $96,100 to buy it. But I'll take it one step further. I put in there that $200 per month for the first 12 months as rent accrual also goes toward the purchase price. That jump starts your equity. And so that would be a total of $3,900 plus $24 at the end of 1 year if you pulled the trigger and went ahead and bought the house. Now, can you buy the house before the 3 years is up? Certainly you can, but you have to go through a mortgage company or use your own means. We will finance the house for you at the end of 3 years, assuming that you've never been more than 25 days late. We want to make sure you establish a good pay history with us, and then at the end of 3 years, whether you continue paying us as rent or it converts to a sale and it's a mortgage, to me it's just an income stream. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. If you use our mortgage, what's the interest rate? We negotiate that at the time of the option. Generally, it's 8.5%. Is that higher than the prevailing interest rate for really good credit? Yes. But if you can't get a loan otherwise, it's a good loan, and you don't worry about losing the house if you can't get a loan. What happens if your credit just goes to pot while you're in this 3-year period? Well, as long as you've never been more than 25 days late, which is what we put in the option, then we don't care. As a matter of fact, we don't even run your credit again at the end of 3 years. You just say, Henry, we're going to buy it. We want you to finance it. We've met our obligations, and I don't have a choice. In the option, and another question people ask, they say, hey, Henry, what happens if you pass away? You are kind of old and gray, and you've got spots on your face. By the way, I went to a dermatologist today, and they zapped that with liquid nitrogen, so that's what's going on there. Well, there's a clause in the option that says if anything should happen to me, my heirs have to honor the deal. So if something happens to me, if I get run over by a Mack truck, you don't have to worry. My heirs can't say, no, I'm not going to deal with you. So at the end of the 3 years, you want me to finance, you tell me you want me to finance, I fill out a real simple sales agreement. We go to the closing attorney, and I've got one I use all the time, or if you want to use yours, we can use yours. Closing is not complicated or expensive. Now, if you go through a mortgage company, it can be very complicated and very expensive, but generally speaking, if you're doing owner financing, it doesn't have to be a big deal or very complicated or expensive. The closing costs are generally a couple of $100 each side. We split those, and even if you strike oil on the back of your house, I can't change the option price. That's locked in, and you get the benefit of that when we close. So I know I've covered a lot of territory. I know I kind of drift, but that's just the way I am. I am Henry Carter, the rent-to-own guy. My telephone number is 615-202-5228. I'm coming at you out of my home office. I've been doing this for 30 years. I hope to be doing it another 30 years. I want to help you find a house. Quit flushing your money down the drain when you can buy for less than you can rent. Thanks for watching this video. Now if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.